Okay, comic book fans, so Black Adam is out this weekend, and like I told you, it's like Shazam on steroids, except The Rock is playing the first Shazam kind of, right? Kind of, right? Go see the movie to find out the details now, right? My job ain't to tell you everything, but now, in the comic books, like I told you, they look different. Know that, right? From the start, right? But it's also possible for The Rock to play Black Adam. The only thing that wouldn't be necessarily a part of the look back then are his tattoos, right? Maybe, right? And again, we know, right? You can CGI all that, right? But again, right? you know, back then they didn't have all the artistry necessarily for tattoos. We don't know, right? Some may have had them. We're not sure, right? But it could have to do with the mark of Cain, or again, right? Using your body as a canvas, right? to do art on, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the only few differences, of course, between the comic book Black Adam and The Rock playing Black Adam. But like I told you with Hercules, right? be you. Certain men can play certain characters depending on, their size, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger can play Hercules. The Rock can play Hercules. Lou Ferrigno can play Hercules. And again, right? But not everybody can play Hercules, right? right. So that's the point too, right? But you gotta take it from, again, right? He's still an actor playing a role, right? Like I told you before, right? And, hair, no hair, right? right. I mean, come on, right? Those are minor details that, like I told you, don't matter in a comic book world, right? I don't know. But the thing is, though, like I said, right? When the storyline goes back to before the Common Era, right? We'll put it that way, right? So many thousands of years anyway. You don't really know what if people look the same or different. Unless there's proof, right? Now that's why some people made statues of themselves, and the person doing the statue was responsible for bringing out the looks of the person, right? Now, The Rock could have existed, though, in that time, right? That's the point I'm making, too, right? I know. It's a real flesh and blood slave or human being, right? Which is part of the story you see on TV anyway, right? He was a slave but became a god, right? And all that, right? Now, like I said, right, though, there is the power of the Shazam to say this Shazam. And thing is, though, you gotta say it, right? Remember that as part of the storyline, right? If you can't say it, what happens? Can't become him, right? So we all know that too, right? So whatever you see in the movie is along the lines, like I told you, of Shazam on steroids, right? Not The Rock on steroids, but Shazam, right? I know. The character Rock is playing, right? Alright, not saying he did any drugs or anything, I don't know that one way or the other, right? But I've heard of it, right? But I don't worry about it, right? Don't mean every big person has to do steroids either, right? We don't know, right? Now I'm disabled, so I can't get bigger or smaller, right? If I do, it's not the same, right? I can't exercise like I used to could before I failed, right? In the Navy, right? So that's my problem now, right? And I could get bigger in a muscular way if I wasn't dealing with back pain and ankle pain, right? Like I told you before, right? Okay. Have a good evening.